It's time. It's time to grow and glow, and I have the guide for you. Happy Monday. It's Coach Faith here. How are you guys? I'm pausing again so y'all can let me know how you are in the comments. Man, it's been a week, and Monday is here already. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? You already know what I'm going to ask. How did you do with the challenge last week? I'm listening. I'm listening. You let me know that in the comments as well. Last week, we talked about the identity behind confidence and how profound it is to know who you are and to make sure you know who the real you is without everyone else. And I hope you guys took that and used the tools and everything that we talked about last week and actually applied it to your life this week. What we talk about. This week we're talking about, I know you see the title already. I'm going to tell you again. We're showing up for us because now that we know who we are, what we do now. Now, I know we talked about how to find our identity, but now we need to know how to show up for this person that we've identified with. And how do we do that? I'm going to tell you. That's why you're here. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Now, it is our last Monday in June. Remember, we focused on how June is our month for confidence, where our confidence whispers to us, you already know. So I hope that you've been feeling that. And I hope you've been feeling that you're worthy to have the confidence and love yourself out loud and do all these things out loud to make sure that you're your true self. And of course, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to my LGBTQ community and also our allies who support us in every single thing that we do. Let's not forget, it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I know this month is coming to an end. Make sure we're still checking up on our men, though. Making sure that they're okay and if they need anything. I know this month is specifically for awareness, but now I hope you know with those statistics I shared a few weeks ago that they need help too, and sometimes they won't ask. So I want you to make sure that you're giving them that safe affirmance place like I'm giving to everybody. But make sure that they have it too, so they know that they have somewhere to go and someone to talk to. Look, I already said what we're discussing today, so you already know what we do. Take a deep breath, and this is our affirmation that we're going to use for the entire week. Listen at this. Even on days when I feel tired, unsure, or unseen, I am still worth showing up for. That is powerful, y'all. That is, bam, that is powerful. And I want y'all to say that to yourself. And I want you guys to use it for the whole entire week or use it for however long you need to. But I want you to know, even on days where you may not feel like yourself, you may have a shitty day, shit may be going on, you're overwhelmed, you're still worth showing up for. And don't never let nobody tell you that you're not. Remember, when we don't have other people or where other people aren't there for us, we can be there for ourselves. And that's what we are working on. We need to become the best version of ourselves for us and no one else. Because why? It doesn't last and it holds more value when we do it for us. So make sure that you're remembering that. As we're still, discussing our topic of confidence, right? I want us to talk about something. We talked about self-awareness. We did. But what's awareness without action? Riddle me that. Because you could be aware of something or aware of yourself. What you're going to do about it, though? Because you have awareness without action, it's just potential going to waste. And our time is precious. We don't have any time to waste. So if we're going to be aware about our identity and how we're going to show up for ourselves, we need to make sure that we're following that with action. Knowing you is powerful, but if you're not doing anything with that knowledge, what the fuck is the point? What is the point? Action. We're going to have action now. So look, we're talking about showing up for ourselves, and I'm going to say it again. Remember, we're showing up for this brand new person that we have identified. The person who knows who they are without their job, without their loved ones, without their relationship. That's the person we're showing up for because it's new for us. We've just discovered them. So we need to make sure that we can show up for them as they need to be shown up for. As we need to be shown up for. You, me, all of us need to be shown up for, okay? So these are 5 ways on how you can show up for yourself now that you know who you are. All right, number one, make choices that reflect the real you, not the past version of you. Let me break that down for you if you don't understand that. Let me tell you, don't be making choices like you're the person that you used to be. I'm going to even take it a step further. Don't even do the shit that you used to do because you're trying to work on this new version of you. That past you is not going to serve you in this present time. You need to make choices like you are building a brand new you. Basically, like you're rebranding yourself. That's how I want you to think about it. You are rebranding yourself. So don't make decisions based on shit that you used to do because that's not you anymore. We're stopping that. All right? Number two, keep promises to yourself. You keep promises to other people, but what about you? And it's as simple as you promised and said that you was going to work out this week and you ain't do it. But you promised somebody else that you're going to pay them back $20, but you paid them back, but you keep that promise to yourself. That's what I'm saying. We're doing all of these things for other people, but we forget about us and we neglect ourselves. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. We're not doing that shit no more, man. Listen, confidence is built like trust, okay? In small amounts. And every time that you show up for yourself, you can say that I can depend on me. Because I bet you other people can say they can depend on you, but can you say that you can depend on yourself? Think about that. We talked about weeks ago or earlier this month when we started this series that confidence isn't something that you're born with, but it's something that you have to build. And confidence isn't something that you're born with, but it's something that you have to build. And that's what we've been doing this entire month. We've been doing it for how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th week. For 5 weeks, we've literally been working on how to build that confidence. And you need to make sure that you're the promise to yourself that you're always going to do what it takes to make sure that you're your most confident self, no matter what the fuck is going on in your life. Okay? Now listen. And number 3, stop asking permission to exist boldly. You're not asking nobody, hey, can I sit here? Hey, can I be in this space? Hey, can I sit at this table? You're not asking people that. You're going to be there. You don't need permission. If you know you deserve to have a seat at a table, you make sure that you make that seat for yourself because you have to. And you do not have to ask anyone permission for that. They don't need no permission for you to do what you need to do. Because every time that you're saying yes to yourself, you're saying no to shrinking yourself. I'm going to say that again. Every time you're saying yes to yourself, you're saying no to shrinking yourself. And that's how I want you to look at it. So let me give an example, right? I'm a new business owner. Okay, so there are things that I'm still trying to figure out, but I know that I deserve to be at spaces or at tables with people who are business owners, who's making millions of dollars, who's doing all of these things, because I know that'll be me. And I have to make sure that I need to surround myself with people who are where I want to be and even further. I don't need their permission to sit at their table. I know that I bring value and I know that I bring something unique that no one else is going to offer in specific spaces. So I'm going to sit there. I'm going to listen. I'm going to put in my 2 cents. At the end of the day, I know who I am and I know I don't need to ask their permission to exist the way that I exist. And that's that. Okay. Number 4, you need to rest when needed without guilt. What you saying, babes? This is what I'm saying, man. Stop feeling guilty when you go to sleep. Literally, stop feeling guilty when you need to take a nap. Stop feeling guilty when you need to actually have time for yourself and not be around anyone and actually want to, close the door and be alone. Stop feeling guilty for that. Because at the end of the day, showing up for you means protecting your energy. Confidence isn't a hustle 24/7. It's not. And if you want to take it a step further, confidence is also knowing when you need to take a step back and pause and have time for you. You have to know that. If you don't know that, how are you going to be confident? And that's what we talked about. How are you going to be confident if you don't know who you are? And now let's take it a step further. How you going to be confident if you don't know who you are? But how are you going to continuously be confident if you can't acknowledge your emotions and how you feel? If you're feeling tired, you need to take a break. If you know you need to get away and be alone, you need to do that and don't feel guilty about it. And don't let nobody else make you feel guilty about it either. Because that's a whole nother story. We may get into that later, but yeah, don't let nobody do that, man. And number 5, lastly, say what you need clearly and unapologetically. Closed mouths don't get fed, y'all. And I know y'all heard that when you were younger. Because if you wanted a piece of that chicken, I bet you said you wanted a piece of that chicken when you was little. What you got to say about that? What you got to say about that? You know, if you want something, you need to say that you want something boldly and unapologetically, not worrying about what other people's responses will be. Ooh, shit. That was nice. That was nice. You need to know your worth. And knowing your worth is saying what you need clearly and unapologetically. Not giving a fuck who responds to it, not giving a fuck how they respond. Just as long as you say what you need to say for you. Closed mouth don't get fed, y'all. And you have to honor your truth out loud. So, you have to honor your truth out loud. I mean, that's it. So you need to say what you need to say boldly and unapologetically and make sure that you're honoring your truth out loud. All right? So listen, I'm going to say these 5 again now. These are 5 ways how we show up for the person that we know who we are now. Okay? Number 1 is make choices that reflect the real you, not the past version of you. Number 2, keep promises to yourself. Number 3, stop asking permission to exist boldly. And number 4, rest when needed without guilt. And number 5, say what you need clearly and unapologetically. Whoo! Them are good. Now let's take a deep breath real quick. Remember, we talked about all the tough stuff already, man. We talked about what is confidence, how to be confident. How can we, how can we identify who we are to be confident? We talked about all that tough stuff. Now, what we need to do is make sure that we're showing up for this new person that we need to. That's it. That's it, man. Now, since, now we've talked about how to show up for this person, let's talk about what happens after we show up. Because now you're like, damn, I'm showing up. What happens now? What now? I think that's that should have been my title for today. What now? Because literally, what now? So, look, what happens after we show up? It's a little something I like to call the maintenance phase. Let me just put it in perspective for you, okay? I had my locks for, I think, 5 to 7 years. And when I got them, they were good. But how am I going to make sure my locks look good? I have to maintenance them. I have to make sure that I'm keeping up with them, getting detoxes, making sure they're washed, making sure they're getting service, per se, every single month. You have to make sure you're servicing. You have to make sure that you have maintenance if you want something to stay exactly how it was when you started. So that's why I'm calling this the maintenance phases, because we have our confidence, but how are we going to be able to keep our confidence from this month going forward? Because this month you may be like, oh shit, yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident, right? But this month after, maybe you won't be so confident. So we need to know how we can stay consistent, because consistency is key. Consistency is key in everything that you do. If you want to be successful in anything or any parts in your life, you have to be consistent. Because when it comes to confidence, it's no longer a phase anymore, right? You have now made a commitment, and now this is a lifestyle. Confidence is now a lifestyle. So you need to make sure that you are committed to that. This is where a lot of us fall off, because it's not as easy as we think. Right now I'm sitting and we're just talking about, hey, confidence this, confidence that. But once you're by yourself and me and you are not together anymore, it's going to get hard. And you have to make sure that you are being able to stay consistent and still showing up for yourself like you need to. That's what we're talking about. Start showing up for this new person that you've identified. You have to. Now, after we're discovering this glow about ourselves when it comes to confidence, what happens when our self-discovery fades, right? And then we're left with sustaining what we built and created. What we do now. I'm gonna tell you. So here are 4 things that happen after you show up. Listen, number 1, you build systems that support your growth. And I want you to ask yourself this: what routines, relationships, or habits keep the real you aligned? Let me put it in perspective for you. The friends that you have, are they aligned with the person that you're becoming? The job that you're at, is it aligning with the person that you're becoming? That's something I want you to ask yourself, and that's something I want you to think about. Or it's even as simple as what you do every day after work. Is that promoting your growth? You have to make sure that you're building systems that are supporting the new you, not the past you. We're working on becoming the best version of us, not the past us. Does that make sense? Number 2, stop negotiating your new standards. That's really self-explanatory. Stop trying to say, oh, well, I'm working on becoming the best version of myself. It's okay if I do this. I used to do this back then. No. No. Leave that shit where it's at. Leave it where it's at. You don't need that. You don't need those things. Okay? Now, and of course, the old version of you will come. Hey, how y'all doing? If you know, if you don't, I'm sorry about that. It'll come knocking, but if it doesn't align with you now, then it doesn't stay. I'm gonna say it again. The past version of you, it will come knocking, but if it doesn't align with you now and the new version of you, it does not stay. And that's period. Okay. Now, 3 or 4. We on number 3. Number 3, prepare yourself for solitude. You already know what the fuck I'm about to say. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be by yourself. How many times you want me to say it? You need to start preparing yourself for this. And actually, these are the actions that we're taking. You need to actually be okay with, I'm going to be by myself and that's cool. I'm all right with that because this happens after I show up with myself. I need time for me. And remember, time for you is a good thing. Solitude is good. Hold on, let me get my meditation. Solitude is good for you. Okay? And that's what you need. You need solitude. Because how are you expecting yourself to show up for you if you can't even have a quiet time to yourself to actually reset? Riddle me that. You have to be okay with solitude. Number 3, you prepare. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Number 4, you expect resistance but don't retreat. I'm going to say that again. You expect resistance but do not retreat. Imposter syndrome, fear, and doubt, it will pop up. But that doesn't mean you're failing. You're just stretching. All of those things will pop up, but that doesn't mean that you're failing. You're just stretching. Now, hold up. I want to give y'all the definition of what imposter syndrome is because y'all know I love a dictionary definition. This is what imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome is that internal voice that tells you, I don't belong here. They're going to find out I'm not as good as they think I am. I just got lucky. Now, let's go a step further and say, even when you're qualified, talented, and have the receipts to prove it, imposter syndrome makes you feel like a fraud. In fact, how is this going there with what we're talking about? Because you have to understand, you're now coming into a new version of yourself. You're going to feel like a fraud because you're still trying to figure out who you are. And you're still trying to figure out how to show up for this person that I'm new to as well. Also, other people are trying to get acclimated to. You have to make sure that you're not selling yourself short. Value yourself so much that you don't have to ask yourself things like, or you don't have to say things to yourself like, I don't belong here. You do belong there because everything happens for a reason in your life. This is signs that you may be experiencing imposter syndrome. So let's just break it down just a little bit. Okay. So imposter syndrome, these are signs right here. Downplaying your achievements, feeling like you have to work twice as hard, struggling to accept compliments, consistently comparing yourself to others, fear of being found out. Okay, let me tell you something. Does any of those things sound familiar to you? I think all of us may have a little bit. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. I'm sorry, let me make sure I clarify that. That's just my opinion. I think all of us have a little bit. I think all of us have a little bit of imposter syndrome, right? If we just talk about me, right? Especially when I'm a Black queer woman in a space and I can see that I'm the only Black queer woman in a space. I feel like for me, that's where my imposter syndrome pops in. Because at the end of the day, when you, and this is just for me, let me just say when I am different in a space, it makes me feel like, damn, what the fuck? Where everybody at? But then too, like, I feel like I feel that way for a little bit. And then after I own it, because I have to own the space that I know that I deserve to be in. I have to. Because at the end of the day, I may look different from a lot of people. I mean, who the fuck cares, honestly? Because it's not really about that. But in some spaces, it is. So I want to make sure that y'all are aware of that too. Some spaces, it does matter. Okay. And now what I have figured out for myself is that when I feel like I'm getting some imposter syndrome, I always tell myself I am in this space for a reason. I am representing for me and my community, and they can value someone like me because I have something to bring to the table. And if you're at a table, you do have something to bring there. There's no reason why you're at a table if you don't have anything to bring. And let's say, for example, if you don't have anything to bring, you're learning. And that's what matters. We just talked about imposter syndrome. And remember, when you're feeling that imposter syndrome, that fear, doubt, that doesn't mean that you're failing. You're just stretching. But don't fall into it, though. Don't stay in it. Remember, if you're at a table, you belong at that table. Do not sell yourself short. Know your worth and know your value, and know that you deserve to be in rooms that you put yourself in or that you've been invited to. Know that. All right. Now remember, this is your feel good station. Get your ass in the bus. We're building unshakable confidence. And you feel good about yourself. I know you do. I see you over there smiling. All right. So listen, y'all. We talked about, showing up for yourself and what happens when you do that, what happens after you show up for yourself. And the last to do that we're embodying every single thing that we talked about. We talked about confidence, embody that. We talked getting your true identity. Make sure you're embodying that. All of these things that we talked about this month, make sure you're embodying every single thing, because that's the last step that we need to do, man. We need to make sure that we're embodying all of this. How can we say we gonna be somebody, do something? We're not owning it. We have to own it. You have to embody your identity and your confidence. You're a new person now. So you have to make sure that you're embracing that. You are a new person now, and you have to make sure that you're embracing that. You have to. If you want this confidence to stay, and you want to live in this confidence, and now this is your lifestyle, embody this. Okay? I already know what time it is. Grow and glow challenge. Grow and glow challenge. 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 Now look, we have had how many challenges this month? 5. 5. Well, this is the 5th one. So I wanted to make sure that this one was a closing challenge for us to make sure that we are really getting rid of the past person that we used to be. So this is our challenge for this week. I want you to write a letter to your old self. This is about closure and elevation. You've done the work, and I'm proud of you for doing the work, and you should be proud of yourself for also doing the work and taking out this time. Now, in that old letter, I want you to be real with you. Be real with yourself. and what you are leaving behind. Okay? So write an old letter to yourself. That's all I want you to do, of what you're leaving behind. Because now we're embodying this new confident person. Leave that old person where they are. Just leave them where they're at. Oh, y'all. Confidence is a tough topic. And confidence is something that a lot of us struggle with. And I hope this month I gave you guys an opportunity and gave you guys tools and tips and tricks to be able to make sure that you can land as your most confident self. Because what? Every day we're working on becoming the best version of us. And I feel, and this is my opinion, that it starts with confidence. And confidence being broken down in all of these different sections. Now, you guys remember, confidence isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily choice, and it's a relationship that you're building with yourself. Now, next month, we're going to be talking about something even greater, I feel, and that's self-love. Let's learn how to love us. Talked about confidence. Now, I want to talk about how can we love ourselves? How can we love our confidence self? After doing all this work, how can we become the person that loves us no matter what? And that's what I want us to talk about next month. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a good one. I really do. Now, remember, I want y'all to remember now, if you still have, issues or trouble with confidence, and these topics and these discussion this month were not enough for you, remember, I'm your life coach, man. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. I'm here for you. And you know that. Remember, I created this safe, affirming place for anyone. I want anyone who feels comfortable to come talk to me about how they're feeling or how I can assist them and how we can work together for you to become the best version of yourselves. Now, I do have something else in the works. I want to do something special. I want to do something that really helps us actually be able to apply something to our everyday lives. That's all we have. I just want to say thank you guys so much for everyone who's been watching and who has been supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I think everyone knows how tough of a journey this has been thus far, and how much I, really want to do everything that I can to make an impact. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Of course, if you're new here, stay true here, all right? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow. Remember, we're on TikTok every fucking day. We're on TikTok every day, man. Now, look, though, on TikTok, I've been cooking. So I actually love to cook. So I've been trying to do cooking with a little bit of motivational while I'm cooking. So if y'all want to check out my TikTok, it's authentically.ucoach. And I do motivational. I think it was yesterday I made a date snack. So it was, I don't know if date is a fruit. I think date is a fruit. But it was a date with chocolate, coconut, peanut butter, all that good stuff like that. So yeah, just check me out, man. And you already know. It's Coach Faith here. Another week, another glow up. Thank you so much for letting me be your guide. And I will see you guys next week. All right, ciao.